Fractals.
Fractals?
Fractals.
Fractals next.
Fractals.
Fractals in Guild Wars 2 is the most highly recommended and frequently run content in the game, and for one simple reason: you get absolutely loaded by doing them. It is above and beyond the best time to gold content in the game, and in this video I will explain to you the ins and outs of fractals, how to do them, and how to maximize your profit. For those who don't know me, I am Silhouette and I am a fractal god. Literally, it's a title in the game, meaning I have run at minimum 365 days of tier 4 fractals with challenge mode. I made guides on most fractal content in the game, and I have around 40,000 unstable fractal essence. This content funded my journey to full legendary, and I will tell you everything you need to know. Fractals are dungeon-like content where each level has a specific dungeon story associated with it. It has some unique mechanics called fractal instabilities that make things more challenging in the harder tiers. This content rewards some unique items only found in fractals, notably agony infusions, fractal encryption chests, ascended armor and weapon chests, and other fractal specific items. This dungeon content scales from levels 1 to 100, with each stage being repeated across 4 tiers, meaning the stories aren't different, they're just harder. To get started in tier 1 fractals, you need absolutely nothing, literally just a level 80 character, and you can complete levels 1 through 19 of fractals. Following that, the agony requirement slowly increases across the levels until level 100. You are recommended to have 150 agony resistance at scale 100, and depending on the scale and what agony resistance you do have, the agony mechanic may not instantly kill you, it might just do a lot of damage. But if you're missing like 10 resistance, it doesn't mean you're going to instantly fail. To slot in agony infusions, you need ascended armor, weapons, and trinkets. Specifically ascended rings, which can be attuned and infused and give you 3 slots on each ring to put agony infusions into. Plainly speaking, putting +9 agony infusions into each available agony slot is the easiest way to get to 150 agony resistance. So as long as you get ascended armor, weapons, and trinkets, and add +9 infusions to them, you'll be good to go. But I know what you're thinking, how do you get gold out of this? Well, fractals is the best content for making money, and no gold making guide ever neglects it. So here's how. Making gold from fractals is simple. You complete the fractal, you get boxes called fractal encryption. And by completing the daily fractals, you get fractal encryption keys. These keys unlock the boxes, allowing you to open them. These boxes award you with literal junk items, but these junk items sell for a lot of raw gold. Additionally, you can purchase 30 discounted keys from the fractal vendor, and these are a gold positive if you buy them for the 30 silver each. You can also sell the extra boxes on the trading post directly for about 20 silver each. But not only that, you do get a lot of garbage ascended rings. These are ascended rings that have pretty bad stats, and these rings can be easily infused and then salvaged for stabilizing matrices, which themselves sell for around 30 silver each. But the name of the game is the fractal encryption boxes. There are a few ways to maximize your ability to get them. First up, the recursive resourcing mastery in the fractal attunement criteria mastery line gives you bonus boxes on fractal completion. Secondly, the missed attunement mastery, which you get from DeRoyer in the fractal lobby, gives you more fractal encryption boxes as well. We'll talk about the missed attunement line a little bit later, but the main loot from fractals that people are looking for are the tier 1 through tier 4 daily fractal reward chests. In fractals, you have 2 classes of daily achievements, the daily ones and the recommended ones. And if you complete the higher tier daily ones, the lower ones auto-complete. So you don't need to run tier 1 and then tier 2 and then tier 4. If you run tier 4, you get the rewards of all the lower tiers. Recommended fractals are a little bit different. Those fractal rewards are only the fractal currency as well as fractal potions, which give you stat buffs. These stat buffs are not required, but they are recommended at higher level fractals. These daily fractal reward chests are what give you the bulk of valuable items and materials, guaranteed fractal encryption keys to guarantee that raw gold, and the rarer rolls of these boxes include Ascended salvage kits, mystic coins, and Ascended weapons and armor box. Now that you know what they're worth, let's talk about the actual content and the secret to fractal riches. Once you climb into Tier 4 fractals, you have the option to run challenge modes. These include Scale 100, the Lonely Tower, Scale 99, Silent Surf, Scale 98, Sunqua Peak, Scale 97, Shattered Observatory, Scale 96, Nightmare, and Scale 95, Kinfall. These fractals are important because the challenge modes, or CMs, give bonus rewards. Oftentimes, Scale 100 is skipped by regular pug groups, however, coordinated groups can often easily handle it. Each of these fractals has an easily managed normal mode that introduces you to a large number of the mechanics, and the CM just kind of dials things up a little bit. But they are still largely easily managed, and the groups that run CMs are typically a higher quality than your regular Tier 4 fractal groups. The real reason that you run CM fractals, besides the bonus loot, is for integrated fractal matrices. This is a guaranteed drop from completing a fractal challenge mode, meaning if you ran all of them, you can get 6 every day. These can be converted into the 10 fractal encryption keys from the fractal vendor. And if we evaluate these keys at a discounted rate, these 6 integrated fractal matrices are valued at least 12 gold alone. And this is just the bonus loot, so you get all the same loot. And if that challenge mode fractal is also a Tier 4 daily, you get the Tier 4 loot as well. Not to mention the various champ bags, rare drops, greens, blues, all of it. Now you will need to run the CMs if you are interested in upgrading that misattunement mastery. I always advise people should go for the Fractal God line just because if you do decide to max it out and become a Fractal God, that is another way that you can amplify your earnings from fractals each day. That trait line also gives you some power and stat bonuses, so it makes the fractals easier to do altogether. So we know how fractals are profitable, and I want to give you guys some examples of some competitions to make these fractals as easy as possible. There are 5 main aspects to keep in mind when getting your team composition together at the higher end fractals. Those are quickness generation, alacrity generation, stability and Aegis access, and how much crowd control your team has. The quickness and alacrity aspects are kind of given. You typically have one as a healer and the other as a boon support, and these stability and Aegis are also usually the healer's job, but can be supplemented by the boon support. And crowd control, while ideally is everyone's job, it often falls on the healer and the boon support as well. So in short, if you have a solid healer and a solid boon support, you can let the other 3 classes just unga bunga DPS. This is their natural state of being, and if they do well, they should be respected, and if they do bad, you should shame them. So what do these team comps look like? Well, in short, most of the team comps that I'm going to recommend need only little modification from fractal to fractal. The ones that cannot provide stability, Aegis, and CC directly might need a little bit more help from the DPS classes or from the boon support to be successful, or they might just get stuck altogether. Additionally, many of these fights prefer one damage type over the other, with Silent Surf, Sunqua Peak, and Kinfall leaning into condition-oriented builds, while the others heavily favor power-oriented builds. The main difference is phase timing and being able to phase the boss and keep the fight moving, which power is notably better at. Some fights, however, like Silent Surf, have longer phases, but they also have high armor values, making condition damage more effective. The most common team compositions either consist of a heal Chronomancer or a heal Firebrand as your primary healers. While both of these classes provide a primary boon, either quickness or alacrity if you're a Chronomancer, or just quickness if you're a Firebrand, while also being able to provide stability, Aegis to the group very easily, while also having large amounts of crowd control available. The boon supports that you commonly see are Alacrity Mechanist, Alacrity Scourge, Quickness Herald, and Boon Chronomancer. All of these classes bring some defensive support to the table alongside more crowd control and respectable DPS. For the Unga Bunga DPS classes, many many of the end game groups have a variety of builds that they run. Most commonly, you'll see a lot of Condi Scourge, Power and Condi Reapers, Condi Harbingers, Power Soul Beasts, Power Vindicators, Power Spellbreakers, Power Bladesworns, Power Dragon Hunters, Condi Willbenders, Condi and Power Virtuosos, Power Scrappers. The list goes on. Pretty much anything will work if you are a DPS class. But if you don't have a set class in mind for these encounters, I highly recommend you consider one of these classes to get geared and familiar with. They will make these fights easier by giving you the tools you need to succeed. To put things plainly, Fractals of the Mist should be any player's first stop into the end game of Guild Wars 2. The gold, the ascended gear can be easily translated into any build in the game. This game mode is the best way to get rich while also getting gear to gear out alternate characters, or get gear to fill out your first set of ascended gear. This will help you progress in the raid encounters, the raid wings, and any other type of group content. It also gets you familiar with the team compositions of the game, since at the higher levels you will be running a more proper 5-man group. If your goal in Guild Wars 2 is to make money, have fun, or do challenging content, then look no further than Fractals of the Mists. And with that, I want to thank you for watching. A big thanks to all my subscribers, and a special thanks to all of my members who support the channel. Join the Discord, a link is in the description. And I should note that I am also an Arenanet partner, so if you want to support the channel, you can use the referral link in the description. Thanks again, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.